Welcome to Ready, Set, Go for PSO. Take a dive into PSO 2025. I'm Charlotte Alverson at the University of Oregon. I'm the PI for the ODE PSO project in collaboration with Shava Feinstein. The purpose of this training is to provide an overview of PSO processes, timeline, and resources for 2025. I'm assuming you're familiar with the general PSO data collection purpose and process. You have collected and reported PSO data for multiple years, and you know how to access the PSO app in Central Login. If these assumptions are not true, please review other resources on the website for step-by-step directions. As I get started, I wanted to share with you results from last year's data collection process. These data were collected in summer of 2024. You see a 57% response rate and a nearly 74% engagement rate. On the right-hand side with the pie chart, you see the breakdown of each of the categories. I also want to say thank you for all that you do with regard to data collection for PSO. We appreciate your work. To begin with, I want to give you some process reminders. Agency contact information must be entered into your PSO team in order to proceed within the app. That's the administrator, points of contact for the exit and follow-up interviews, and staff who are collecting and entering data into the app. We ask for this information to be able to send notices or contact someone if there's a problem with the data collection within the system. If our system isn't doing what it's expected to do, we want to be able to reach out and contact you. The student list is available for review. You use the student list to verify students who are eligible for the PSO data collection. If you need to make changes, additions, deletions to the list, send only the SSID number to the ODE team, and here you see their email contact. They will help you clean up the list. You're highly encouraged to use the online PSO app to record your attempts and data collection efforts, interview efforts. The reason for this is first, we want to eliminate duplication of work effort. We know you're busy. We don't want you to do the work twice. Using the app reduces the likelihood of error from data entry. It also ensures that the right questions are asked because built within the app is skip logic based on the answer to the previous question. It also includes help features along the way. Some interview reminders. The interview is meant to be a conversation. Pose the question and have a conversation with the former student or their designee. Listen to their answer rather than reading the answer categories. Sometimes it may be necessary to reword a question or ask additional questions in order for that former student or their designee to understand the question, and small changes in those questions are acceptable. So what's new for 2025 is a response category in the consent question. Consent is not new. What is new is this third category, did not talk to anyone. So the response question, or excuse me, the consent question is directed to the former student or their designee. That person is answering either, yes, I'm willing to answer questions. That is, they're giving consent, they're agreeing to participate, or the person is saying, no, I'm not willing to answer questions. Therefore, it's a refusal and they do not agree to participate. Consent or refusal can only be obtained by talking to a person. Any other outcome than talking to a person is not a refusal. So if you left a message, a voicemail, text, that is not a refusal. If the phone just rang and no one answered, you couldn't leave a message, you had the wrong contact information or no contact information, those are not refusals. In those cases, you would say, did not talk to anyone. A parent who isn't willing to give you contact information or doesn't know where the former student is, that also is not a refusal. If you pose that question to the parent, are you willing to answer a few questions about your child's education, jobs, and life in general following high school? Then that parent can say, no, I'm not willing to answer a few questions, or yes, I am willing to answer a few questions. If you're talking to the parent, you ask them to answer questions about their child's education, you can check yes or no. But if the parent says, I'm not willing to give you their contact information, that is not a refusal. All right, recording a contact. So let's say you've made the attempt. You've either talked to a person or you did not talk to a person. If you talk to a person and explained the call, the reason for it, and the person agrees to answer questions, they've consented, you select yes on the consent question, you continue with the interview and complete the post-interview section and then submit the interview. This is the ideal process that we want to see, right? That you've talked to a person, they've agreed, you've completed an interview. Sometimes you talk to that person, you explain the purpose, they do not agree, that is, they've refused. You thank them for their time, end the interview, select no on the consent, again, complete the post interview, and then select submit. If you did not talk to a person, you have to decide whether you'll try again or you're not going to try again to reach that person. If you try again, enter a note or a comment in the post interview, select will complete later, and then try another day, another time, or another contact method. We know that it can take 3 to 5, sometimes longer attempts in order to reach a person. If you're trying to contact them during your typical workday, 8 to 3 or 8 to 4, it's likely that they may be working during that time as well. And so if you have some flexibility that you can call after those hours or on weekend, you may be more likely to reach the person. That will improve your response rate and it'll improve your overall engagement rate. So you've tried 3 to 5 times, you've decided you're not going to try again, complete the post interview, select will not complete, select the reason for not completing, and explain anything that happens that's unusual. Explain that in the interviewer notes. Here you do not select submit. So again, what's new is the consent response option. You must talk to a person to record consent or refusal. You're going to select did not talk to anyone if you couldn't reach a person. All right. Important dates for 2025. The student list review is available now. June 5th, the PSO app opens for data collection. It will close on September 29th. Throughout the data collection period, you can see your preliminary results within the app. And in winter 2026, the final PSO results will be available. For additional resources, please visit Oregon Transition Education website. You see the link up here at the top, and you'll find lots of wonderful resources. If you have additional questions, please reach out and be in touch.